Hello and welcome to Never Mind the Buzzcocks. I'm Alex James and I'm your host for this evening. It's a very special night tonight because finally I get to be the front man and I get to do things like this. On Phil's team tonight, she's half of one of pop's biggest sibling rivalries. Takes me right back to when Blur were locked in a brutal chart war with the Cheeky Girls. From the Veronicas, it's Jessica Origliasso. Also on Phil's team, he's an actor, comedian and talented impressionist. Tonight, doing an impression of someone who actually wants to be here. It's Peter Serafinowicz. And on Noel's team, he's a talented musician who spent so much money on PR that there wasn't any left over for hair and makeup. It's Faulkner. And she's been described as the Rice Krispies of comedy. She's snappy, she's crackly, and she's available for about £2.50. It's Holly Walsh. Those are our teams. Let's make a quiz about pop music. So we begin. Want to be starting something? Phil, Peter and Jess, take a look at this.
Go ahead, go nuts, go ape.
He was recently called a jackass by Barack Obama, and just to explain to a British audience what that means, it's equidistant between plonker and wanker.
That's how long I've been on ya.
That, of course, was Kanye West with Stronger, but how did he start a commotion with Peter Stringfellow in 2007?
Well, the sun actually does shine out of his arse, my God.
Yeah, it sets in the west.
Peter Stringfellow, I don't know who that is, actually.
Peter Stringfellow?
No.
Ah, well. Peter Stringfellow.
Well, he runs a string of...
Gentlemen's,
Are they strip clubs?
Yeah. I can't say I'm familiar with them, although the loyalty card does bring benefits.
He's like a creepy guy, but he's like the avuncular side of creepy. Do you know what I mean? The acceptable face of creepiness.
He's like a Randy Wurzel-Gummidge. He was a DJ, impresario, and so he runs these clubs for lonely, sad men.
Cool.
To come in and drink lager and cry into it.
Not to comment, I don't think they allow you to do that.
Has that made it any clearer for you?
Yeah, completely. Thank you so much.
Jess, why don't you tell us a bit about the Veronicas?
We have an album coming out on October 12th, actually. I think that's why I'm here. So please buy it.
Just an album, no cheese?
No cheese. No cheese, darling.
Yeah.
But you might be able to tell us about some cheese, I've heard.
Maybe.
Yeah, as well as the fact that you played bass for Blur, a lot of people won't know, Alex, is of course you are a cheesemaker.
I am.
What's your stance on Derry?
Well, I think the triangles are okay, but I was thinking maybe a rhombus.
Derry rhombus?
Yeah.
I saw some cheese in a supermarket, and the packaging was like little soccer balls, and I thought, that is pathetic. Just trying to make kids eat footballs because they won't eat cheese.
You came here tonight on a skateboard with Baby Bell wheels.
I do like those a lot. If I could fashion a hat out of that waxy red stuff, I'd get an erection. They come in sacks, I love that. Sort of netting.
Sacks,
little
yeah,
netting.
like they've been caught.
Little cheese prisons. I like to imagine a baby bell walking through a forest and all of a sudden getting pulled up into the earth. Its little wax feet kicking through the netting. Help me!
You know, if you leave them on the side for a few weeks, they mature into adult bells.
I thought They were like amoebas. They just split into two. Keanu, or whatever he's called, puts them in his cheeks. He's a baby bell squirrel.
So, this has got us no nearer to the argument he had with Peter Stringfellow, which I assume is neither string nor cheese related.
Well, I got to stick up for Stringfellow. You know, he took me in there in my heyday, took me under his wing, gave me champagne. He was kind.
Aww.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's got a wing. That doesn't surprise me, actually. Like sort of webbed kind of arm.
Like a sex kestrel. Just...
Like a disgusting griffin.
You've got no idea what happened in Stringfellows with
look, Kanye, he didn't have the right sort of champagne. The champagne was warm.
No, the champagne, he always insists on having an even number of bubbles in the champagne.
I might have to hand it over. It's very clear.
No cloakroom, so he had to put his coat in his cheeks.
He wanted to tip the stripper with change.
It is like the ultimate slot machine, though, isn't it?
Well, I don't think anyone's going to guess. According to Stringfellow, Kanye left his club without paying for any of his 6 lap dances. Stringfellow was particularly annoyed because he'd put his back out during the 4th one, but battled on all the way. Barack Obama recently hit the headlines when he called Kanye West a jackass. In a desperate attempt to match him, Gordon Brown responded by having Keisha thrown out of the Sugar Babes. OK, well, I don't think I can give you any points.
OK,
But Noel, Holly and Newton, take a look at this. Long-haired, wrinkly and ravaged by the sands of time, I know what you're all thinking. Jennifer Aniston's really let herself go. It's Iggy Pop.
Do you think they even know they're in a video? Just slapping people, rubbing themselves on the fixtures.
Yes, that was Iggy Pop and Peaches with Kick It, but why did Iggy Pop's appearance in a recent advert spark a series of complaints?
Is he the face of Ronsil?
They'd never sell any of it if he was the face of Ron Seal.
He's incredibly well preserved.
In that video, he looks like a corpse filled with rats.
He looks like a flesh-coloured sleeping bag filled with baby bells. I love Iggy, I'm not going to diss him, but it is a weird set. If you're going to get Peaches and Iggy Pop, why would you put them in home base or wherever they are? I don't understand.
Well, really, we're into the sort of the arena of ill-advised endorsements.
John Lydon did a butter ad, didn't he?
He did.
That was quite disturbing.
And you've done a shampoo ad.
Not yet.
Have you been approached?
No, I've been asked to do a couple of things. I've turned everything down. The only thing I did turn down another Coke one. I get Coke ones every now and then, and it's always like, oh, money. But no, I've turned down everyone that's come up.
You should really piss them off and do a Pepsi advert.
I think Tiser's more up your street.
Newton, you're back with a new look.
With a new look? I've looked the same since I was 15.
Newton is basically, his album's number 3 in the charts at the moment.
Wow.
Is it? Yeah. Wow. And as good as that is, I've drawn a face on an apple.
Wow.
And I think we know who the real winner is in this situation. That one went a bit wrong.
I think it'd be weird if you opened a banana and then inside it was just like a really long lemon.
It'd be weirder if there was a motorbike in there.